Hey there, welcome to AdVice. Today I'm joined by our creative director, Aiden Eaton, and director of accounts, Sheila Smith. I'm Josh Mangum, your host, and today we're just going to talk, right? We're just going to talk about, Sheila, I wanted you to be here because you're constantly talking to prospects and marketing directors at other companies about the agency services, and I just thought it was a good timing, good time for us to talk about apprehensions, misconceptions, just with all the change this year that we've had in advertising, just kind of some feedback from the boots on the ground. So, without any kind of order here, what would you say are some of the biggest objections, fears, or just things holding a company owner or a marketing director back from advertising or working with an agency?
Yeah, so I think when we're talking about the business owner, their self that makes the decision, right? Because it's a little bit different. If you've got a marketing director, then they've got somebody to answer to. So oftentimes, if it's a marketing director, then they want to make sure that they're making their boss happy, right? They've got to make the decisions that positively, both have to make the decisions that positively impact their company. But oftentimes it really is just fear, I think, of the unknown, fear of change, if you will. So if they've worked with an agency, oftentimes they've been with that agency for a while. They feel like maybe the agency has gotten complacent. They're just not seeing what they want to see out of it. Feel like there could be more. So they're searching around, but then it's also, you're trading, but you don't have any kind of complete guarantee, right? Because it's something new, it's a new relationship. So you're trading the known for the unknown on some level.
Yeah. And we talked about this before a couple of weeks ago about how I'm seeing more folks jumping from agency to agency than I've ever seen in my career. Definitely the last year or two has been different. And, we see people go, we see clients come on board, but a lot of the clients that come on board, what I'm not used to is hearing that, we were with the last agency for 6 months. Usually it's what you're talking about. They've been with them for a long time, and maybe they did get complacent after a while. Who knows what the story is, but there's always a reason that people want to leave their agency, but I'm seeing companies fire their agency and come on board sometimes in as little as 3 months, and that's new.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. Once in a while, but not in the regularity that I'm seeing it right now. So I think there's a lot of fear, and I think there's a lot of unknown. And I think maybe possibly unfairly, a lot of companies are attributing that to their marketing department or their agency because they feel like, well, the results have changed, therefore it's the agency's fault.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's necessarily the case. And there's a lot of new factors. It's more complicated than it used to be. And maybe the effort is there, but maybe it's going to take more effort than it used to get those same results.
Yeah.
That's scary for everybody. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a multitude of things. I think with social being so prevalent that people get that instant kind of gratification. They can see a brand go viral and then like, why isn't my business doing that? Oh, my marketing director or my marketing team isn't doing that for me, which is not true. It's not exactly true. I mean, it's really hard to land something that goes viral. And I feel like that's a big opinion that people have.
That's a cool thought. That's like the middle schoolers looking on Instagram thinking everybody's prettier and cooler and smarter than them. And
exactly.
It destroys self-esteem, but it's the same for businesses.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, okay.
100%. And I think
I never thought of that.
It's a lot different for a marketing director versus a business owner. I think a business owner more likely will fall into that category.
Yeah.
But a marketing director is going to see a video and be like, these are good ideas for me to find a solution for and to impress my boss because they have an exterior motivation.
Yeah.
Which I think makes the sales process maybe easier. In my opinion, I like talking to marketing directors more.
Yeah.
Because of that.
It's actually interesting that you brought up the the influencer and going viral there. There's a chunk of people that I speak to that have this great idea, brand new, and they just think that is the answer, period. It's affiliate marketing. That's their plan. That's their success plan. And I think that a lot of people don't understand what a uncommon thing that can be, or what goes into it if there's a strategy behind it, right? Like if that's really the path that they want to take, it's not as simple as you just contact a few people on TikTok and the next thing you know, you're a billionaire.
See, that's why I'm like Aiden. I like the marketing director because they get it.
Yeah.
A lot of times the business owner is not just the business owner, but they're a startup, they're an inventor.
Yeah.
How many times over the years I've talked to somebody who just invented a product and the next thing they want to do is talk to a marketing agency. And like you said, they think that the way to go is X.
Yeah.
And they don't know how much goes into it. And they probably have the marketing mix wrong. Just like, and the affiliates are usually the people that come looking for affiliate marketing are usually the ones that are the most off base.
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't work really, really well for some brands and certain strategies, but
Right.
when that's what they lead with, I almost 9 times out of 10 know this is going to be a battle.
Well, that's the thing. If anybody could figure out, like, if this, then you will go viral, then, I mean, they've got secret sauce that nobody else has, right? Like, if you could.
With affiliate marketing, just as a whole, I always assume that you need a following going into it. You can't start affiliate at the ground level and hope people will buy into your idea.
Yeah.
It never works that way. It's like the cherry on top. You can do it after you've built a following or a market or a business,
Yeah.
but starting with affiliate.
Unless you get with somebody that is crushing it and they have just the biggest following, and that ain't going to be cheap.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you're a startup and that's your route that you're taking, you better put a big chunk of your marketing budget into that quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And hope you don't pair with the wrong person.
Right.
You know, this person ends up having crazy ideas and then your brand's ruined.
Well, and a lot of times the affiliate stuff, there's no guarantee behind it.
Also true.
Like, hey, I put you in front of 100,000 people. I got 100,000 impressions and 0 sales. I just look at you and go, well, you know,
It's too bad.
I did what you paid me for.
Right. Right.
So there's got to be a neck to choke.
For sure. For sure.
Right.
It's wild out there. Affiliate's crazy. Like when it does work, all the tracking that goes into it, having to send kickbacks as well, is like a full-time team to just manage affiliate, which a lot of people don't think about either. So there's a lot of cost with it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I think when I speak to people, they don't really, they hear a few things or have come across a few ideas of ways that people got successful, but they don't understand anything behind the curtain at all about it or what it takes or the revenue that you have to put up to get there. And so it's, I don't know, it's not something I feel like we talk about as a team very often like that because it's not, you know, something we focus on necessarily, but I do have that conversation quite a bit.
Well, and I like your point from earlier. It seems like they're more exposed to these ideas than they might have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So they come into the conversation not necessarily better educated, but more aware of all these different options. And I think that's the other problem, especially with the marketing directors, is now it's not so simple.
Yeah.
Your marketing agency used to do 99% of your advertising and your marketing completely. And you can't do that now. A marketing agency is hardly ever going to be able to manage your social media as well as if you can do it in-house, if you can do it well, if you have the resources.
Yeah.
We don't know your special of the day. We don't know, you know, what's going on currently in your industry necessarily. I mean, and the amount of effort it would take to manage it at that level, that means the retainer is going to be as much or more than it would take to have a full-time person in place. So a lot of times the companies that we work with are better off if they do stuff like that in-house, but you got to do that. You've got to have your advertising right. You've got to have your website right. You got to be found organically. You got to think about AI and the LLMs and everything that's going on with that. And it's way more complicated than even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting point too. A lot of these newer businesses, even if they were, let's just say they are one of the silly bands of the world, right? And they just struck gold. They go viral overnight, and they're not ready for it. They wouldn't be ready for it even if it happened, because they're not set up where they can easily be found, or they have the website, or you know, the other things in line that you need to be successful if you strike gold like that.
Yeah. And I know we keep talking about the marketing director, but that just makes me think a little bit more about the local business, the small business startup, and how many choices they have in front of them and how easy it is to pick the wrong choice. Mm-hmm. We were just talking to a signage company about some of the horror stories earlier today of just local business, startup business, and they go down the wrong path and they end up spending what little money they do have in the beginning of a business, and they put it in the wrong place. We've seen plumbers, working on billboards and small local company, or I've seen a company that put all their money into a magazine, a local business, and it wasn't really a good match with the magazine that they were in.
Yeah.
So, or these crazy Google business profile optimizer companies, and they call incessantly, trying to get us to improve our SEO on our Google business profile, and they want $200, and they guarantee that you'll be found on Google. And I really don't think anything ever happens. I think they take your money and they just call more people. But I've had so many local business owners do that.
For sure.
They say, "Hey, I paid a guy. I'm supposed to be number one."
Yeah, I paid a guy 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Haven't talked to him since.
Yeah.
But
what
was his name? I don't know. He's some guy that called me on the phone.
Yeah.
I paid him through PayPal.
Check the account. It's just like some random email.
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate those stories where people have been victimized, because that really is the word for it. They've got a new business that they've put their blood, sweat, tears, and savings into. They're trying to get it off the ground, but maybe they don't have, a lot to work with, and somebody promises them that this bean is going to grow into a beanstalk, and it doesn't, and then, they're nowhere to be found. So even if I speak with business owners who maybe they're just not in a place, they're not quite ready for what we do, they're not there yet, I still like to just speak very candidly with them about, hey, be careful of some of these things. If someone offers you a golden cow, you know.
But it's not just them. It's really the mid-sized companies too, the marketing directors, and even some of the larger companies I've seen go way down the wrong path, especially with AI.
That's true. I guess I just feel like, the newer you are to being in business, the more susceptible you are. But you're absolutely right. They are not the only ones that get caught up in dealings with untrustworthy people, unfortunately.
Well, and that's something as an industry we've kind of done to ourselves. As an advertising industry, I mean, there's a lot of snake oil. There's a lot of promises, empty promises with no guarantee on results. And I'm just talking about the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And for a long time, before data was really a big part of this, you could get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, there was some expectation on return and an increase in sales, but it was hard to tell. And then data came along, and then for a long time, we were able to kind of work around the data. You could make a report seem good or, look better than it was. And I think we've reached that point where you can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. The data is accurate enough that you're either doing your job as an advertising firm or you're not.
Yeah.
And we know within a 5% confidence interval or 95% confidence that this is accurate, this is working, or it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm here for it. That's one of the other things that I speak to prospective clients about is, the reporting and like, hey, you have access to this. Mm-hmm. And because oftentimes they're working with an agency currently, again, shopping around. And sometimes they aren't getting that, or if they have it, they're not really looking at it. They don't know, month to month or even quarter to quarter, how much those numbers are impacted or how they're performing, those kind of things. Because I don't think that every agency, obviously plenty of agencies do, but they don't boast themselves on their results like that. So I always encourage them, like, hey, if you don't know, maybe that's something you should investigate a little bit.
Yeah. I always think of like the accounts who have all these tools set up, right, for tracking and analytics, but then have it maybe set up a little bit incorrectly, like with conversion values, for example, where it's double reporting. So in analytics, it looks like they're doing gangbusters. They've sold so much. But in reality, they haven't. And the business owner may not know to connect those two, or where to start and why it's off. And understand, like seeing that from our side always gets me. Because I know that someone has seen this before and decided to make the decision not to fix it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Too often.
Yes.
So it's hard for the business owner to know, am I in that situation? The advertising guide says that everything is good. It says that I have a 6x return.
Yeah.
But then, what gets me is how do you not then go back and kind of compare that to your books and say,
do I though?
are we sure about this? But I do see that double reporting thing or the misreporting on revenue or what was it recently? Treating every website visit as a conversion.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hooray, you got to click. Maybe it's
Yeah.
a bot. Maybe they were there for 2 seconds on the site, but it's a conversion. Conversions are up.
I bet those meetings were so nice.
Yeah.
It's just like, you have 17,000 conversions this month.
Yeah. Well, like you said, cross-referencing is important, right? It's kind of like the day you learn to figure out who funded the research project.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I'm just like, man, please stop looking at traffic. Stop looking at traffic. Especially with, what is it? 50% of the traffic online is bots now, probably more.
Yeah.
And then companies are still reporting on traffic. Well, your traffic's up. You didn't have a damn lead all week or all month, but traffic's up. So this is good. Good indicator. It's crap.
Yeah. Honestly, I would kind of treat it like a doctor's visit. Like if I was running my own business, separate to marketing, knew nothing about it, hire some freelancer and be like, listen, go look at my account. Is it good? Is everything set up well? I feel like that might be the cost-effective way to check if everything's as it seems.
Yeah.
Well,
that brings up another kind of issue right now, which is it's really hard to tell the legitimate agencies apart from some guy that had a brilliant idea 2 days ago. You can build a website with AI in a day. You can have great testimonials that are really just your friends and you're using first name, last name, and you got some examples of your work, which is really just mock-ups. And then people don't know.
Yeah.
you got to look for complex web design.
Yeah.
You have a good experience? Yay or nay? That's how you know.
It's hard. It's hard. You can build a marketing agency
That's true.
shell in a month. It might not be like over the weekend or anything, but for a month.
Yeah. No, completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is important. But yeah, it is more and more complicated as we go and tougher to tell the right from the wrong, to tell the good agencies from the fly-by-nights.
Yeah.
I can see where that causes a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
So, all right. Any last minute thoughts before I close this out?
No, I was just going to say, take a look at the testimonials and the reviews and talk to real people. And that way you can make sure you're getting what they're telling you you're going to get.
All right. Well, if you're still with us, thanks for following us through this talk. Be sure to like, share, comment, do all those fun things. We'll see you next time. Thanks.